So starting the test drive in this Sonata hybrid here, right off the bat, I want to say I love that you get 3 levels of regen here. So I have it set up to the max regen now, and it feels almost like a 1-pedal drive. It's not quite that, but that's how strong it feels. So I'm very impressed by that. And when you let off the gas pedal, that's the 1 pedal, or the level 3, excuse me, doing its thing. So it's, again, pretty impressive. Now it is a bit wonky because it's not a typical 1 pedal, but it does help out quite a bit in terms of making sure you get the most out of braking so that you can recharge the battery. Now for me personally, for everyday driving, level 2 is probably gonna be the best one, I think. Level 3 is a tad strong, but you get the max regen there. And again, the level 2 just feels more of like a typical hybrid, I think. But level 1 is probably the easiest. I mean, the easiest one is to turn it off, but you know, for me, I feel like level 1 gets you the best of both worlds if you're not used to driving an EV or a vehicle that has 1 pedal in it, because the 2 and 3 is very strong. You could get used to it and probably be all right, but wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But I mean, what's crazy is this car is pretty quick to be a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Now it does have the hybrid setup, but it's still, just giving it barely anything in eco mode, it pulls very nicely. So with that being said, I'm gonna put it in the sport and we're gonna see what this thing can do. Here we go. Yeah, that felt good. I mean, it felt really good. But especially for a car that gets you 51 miles per gallon highway. That's insane. So I had the smart cruise going, the lane centering assistant going. And for what you get here, I'm just so impressed the more I drive this car, because from a practical standpoint, this is one of the best cars I think you can get. You get 44 city, 51 highway in terms of the fuel economy. Really a direct competitor with the Camry hybrid. Now, I mean, it's trying to knock it out of the park and destroy that car, which is pretty hard to do. But it's just such a practical machine that's fun to drive. Now, I've driven the Camrys and they're still relatively fun to drive, but I don't think they're as fun as this Sonata is, and that's just my opinion. But this just feels like a more sporty vehicle, even though Hyundai's not really trying. Just really impressed by this car. Now, me personally, I prefer the 6-speed as opposed to an 8-speed or a CVT, just because it feels more traditional. But again, just my opinion there. Now I want to give one more thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review the Sonata today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this Sonata or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But all in all, I mean, a really, really nice car. It's relatively quick, very efficient, and it's just easy to drive. Even with it being a hybrid, You have the option to set up your regen the way you want. It's just, it checks all the boxes for me. If you want a Camry, yeah, you can do that. But if you don't, check this out, because you might be more impressed with this than the Camrys, with all those being hybrid now. But I think a great car all in all. Great driver, very comfortable even with the cloth seats. And if you're looking for something in this segment, I say check it out. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid in the SEL trim level.